Hello all, my name is Sagar, you're watching CarWale and this right here is the Skoda Slavia. Now this car has been on sale since March of this year, and if you would like to check out Abhishek's full review, then click somewhere over here. So what are we doing with the Slavia again? Well, this is my long-term loan from Skoda India and it's the 1.5 manual that I've been driving for a month now. And in that time, I have gone through the liberty to talk to you about top 5 favorite features of it. And I'm also going to talk about a couple of things that I wish this car had from day one. Maybe Skoda India will fix that in a future update, maybe not. But for now, let's begin with the positives. So I'm going to start with my absolute favorite thing about the Slavia 1.5, and it's this engine. Now in isolation, the 1 liter Slavia, it's peppy and has more than enough performance for daily driving, but if you want real performance, trust me, you've got to have this, the 1.5. I mean, it obviously has more displacement, an extra cylinder and a nearly 35 brake horsepower advantage. And if you ask me, you will feel that advantage every single time you drive the 1.5 over the 1 liter. Speaking of performance, this engine, it pulls hard, especially after 3000 RPM, and in terms of throttle response, it is fantastic when this engine is on boost. Actually, in some ways, the Slavia 1.5, it reminds me of the Mk1 Octavia VRS because both roughly make the same amount of power and are lots of fun. But it's not always about performance and fun, because once it's up to speed, the Slavia 1.5, it feels effortless even when you load it up with passengers and their luggage. I say that because not too long ago I made a trip to the airport where all the seats and the boot was fully occupied, and not once did I feel this car was lacking in power. Let's be honest, a lot of us buy sedans for their large proportions in relative to similarly priced hatchbacks or crossovers. So if you're somebody who wants as much real estate as possible in this segment, then the Slavia, it makes for a good choice. I mean, it's much longer than something like the Hyundai Verna or even the Maruti Ciaz, and when it comes to width and the wheelbase, it beats every other car in the segment, including the evergreen Honda City. The other area where the Slavia stands above the rest, quite literally, is its ride height, and that's mainly down to its nearly 180mm ground clearance. Now, I'll admit that I'm not a fan of this stance because of so much clearance, but I'll also say that it's a blessing in disguise, especially in the peak of monsoons when our roads are in such terrible condition with deep potholes. Fortunately, I haven't scraped or bottomed out the Slavia so far, and fingers crossed, I intend to keep it that way. So the boot space is officially rated at 521 liters, and that's massive by any means. And to show you how big this boot actually is, I'm going to put all of these suitcases in here. So that's the biggest one in there, and I still have more than half the space left. That's the second one, and still there's more than enough room for your luggage. Lastly, we have these couple of duffel bags which are quite large. So as you can see, there's still lots of room left for a couple of backpacks or even like small carry bags. So the boot indeed, it's massive. And if that's not enough, the rear seat has a 60-40 split folding function in case you have tall and slim items to carry. The Slavia is a large sedan, and that is reflected when you're seated in here. Now I am 5 foot 8 inches tall, and I've got this front seat adjusted to my driving position, and as you can see, there's more than enough knee room and headroom. So if you're somebody who is chauffeur driven most of the time, the Slavia is a good option. Also, the backrest angle on the seat back, it is spot on, and as for the under thigh support, it is sufficient for somebody my size. So overall, the Slavia, it's not just a great driver's car, but it also doubles up as a comfortable sedan that you can be chauffeured in. Skoda is selling the Slavia in active, ambition and style variants for the 1 litre. But if you want the 1.5 engine, you have no option but to have it in the top of the line style variant, which adds to the substantial price gap between the 1 litre and the 1.5 litre. So the thing is, the 1 litre engine, it's locally made here in Pune, whereas the 1.5 litre engine in this car, it is fully imported. And that explains the 2.4 lakh rupee price difference in the ex-showroom prices of the style variant of this 1.5 and the 1 litre. Now I wish Skoda would give this 1.5 engine in at least the mid-level ambition variant, which would have made this drivetrain a lot more accessible. Besides stop-start tech, the 1.5 litre engine also gets Volkswagen cylinder deactivation technology, which automatically shuts down 2 of the 4 cylinders when the system senses that the car is not under load. So the point here is to save fuel under relaxed driving conditions, which is mostly highway driving. And if we go by our tested figures for the Slavia 1.5 automatic, when we did our fuel efficiency run, we got 17.93 kmpl to a litre. In this car, we got 17.69 kmpl, which is 0.2 of a kilometer per litre less than the automatic version. So there's that. So that's about it from me about the Slavia 1.5. Now, I would also like to add that our car here, it doesn't get the smaller 8-inch touchscreen display that Skoda is currently rolling out because of the chip shortage. Now, some might argue that it's a major downgrade from the 10-inch display that you get in here. But I feel in every other respect, the Slavia 1.5 makes for a lovely everyday fun car. Do let us know what you think of it, and tell us if you still prefer the 1 litre version over this.